So as you can see, this is the uh, picture of Dahlia flower. You might not have seen everybody this flower because this is not uh, having that much demand as compared to the chrysanthemums or marigolds or roses in the market. Dahlia is one of the most important garden plants. It is majorly used in gardens. Its wide spectrum of colors. Its size ranges from 2.5 centimeter to 40 centimeter diameter. Attractive shapes, many forms, profusion of flower and easy cultivation have made them immense popularity. They grow in size from 1 to 5 feet and flower range from small pompons to several inches diameter. So small, it is from dwarf to a bigger type of flowers are available in Dahlia. It is majorly used as an exhibition flower in various exhibitions in metropolitan city. Flowers include single bloom and double bloom. These attractive plants produce loads of brilliant blooms in rainbows of orange, salmon, bronze, apricot, yellow, crimson, scarlet, and lavender. So these are the colors which are present nowadays in Dahlia flower. Then importance in uses. They are extensively used in exhibition, as I told you earlier that this is the exhibition flower for garden display and home decoration. Dwarf types are suitable for beds, borders, and mixed borders, shrubberies. Large flowering dahlias grows in pots, terrace, roof, and veranda display. So it is for use for display purpose, decoration purpose, and for exhibition purpose. This flower does not have fragrance. These are only having attractive shape and size and colors. Long stem is one used for flower arrangement. Those are in long stem that are used for flower arrangement purpose. Cut flowers of pompons, small and miniature types are more suitable for vases. Means you can use in fuldani or in vases. Cut flowers also used for making garlands. Those are in small nature. From that, the garlands are prepared. Tubers of dahlia contain some medicines like insulin, fructus, phytine, and benzoic acid. So it is having also some medicinal properties like presence of insulin, fructose, phytine, and benzoic acids. Origin and history. The native land of Dahlia is Mexico, national flower of Mexico. The species introduced into the old world are Dahlia imperials, Dahlia coccinea, Dahlia murki, Dahlia jurenzi. The latter is actually a hybrid of Dahlia variabilis from which most of the garden display have been developed and due to continuous cross several present day types are evolved. So remember that Dahlia variabilis is the botanical name of the Dahlia flower and from this species the number of varieties are developed. Now let us see the morphology of Dahlia flower. Dahlias are half hardy perennials with tuberose roots. Stems are mostly erect, branched, glabrous, and scabrous. Leaves 1 to 3 pinnate with slightly serrated margin are produced opposite at each node of the stem. Means the flowers or the leaves are having serrated margin and they are arranged in somewhat like opposite to each other on the stems. Bears flowers on the long, steep stem will well above the foliage. Ray florets are neutral or pistillate, and disc florets perfect. So in this way, this is the morphology of uh, Dahlia flower, which is having some kinds of tuberous root. It is perennial plant. Means once you plant it, it doesn't. You don't require to plant regularly because it is propagated through the tubers. So majorly those plants which are propagated from suckers or tubers, they are perennial in nature. Stems are erect. So when they attain the particular height about 5 to 6 feet, at that time it requires uh, support from prevention of losing. So this is about morphology. Dahlias are classified according to flower shape and arrangement of petals by National Dahlia Society of England. So in England, there is a special society is established which is worked specially on the Dahlia's flower. That is called as National Dahlia Society of England. So in that classification, single flower, these have one row of petals, generally grow to 3 feet or less and have flowers 4 inches or less in diameter. So these are the single type of flower which is having around 3 feet height or less than 3 feet, and the flowers which bears which is around 4 inches, near about 10 centimeter having diameter. The next is anemone flower. So these are the classification which is designed by or classified by according to the National Dahlia Society of England. In that we have seen the first single flower, second one is the anemone flower. Flowers have one or more rows of petals surrounded by dense group of long tubular disc floret, fully double flower and good for flower arrangement. So anemone type of flowers is useful for flower arrangement purpose because they are double kind of flowers. The petals of rose, uh, row petals are more, disc florets and row florets are available. Next is colarity. Flowers have one row of normal petals and one or more rows of small petals, the collars. On the basis of that, it is classified as a colarity, which is resembles like a collar because one normal row is present there, and second one is a small row of petals and which is look like a collar. So that is why it is called as collarity. Discs are apparent very good for flower arrangement, so it is also used as a flower arrangement purpose. Flower arrangement means for preparation of bouquets or for table decorations. There are different kinds of flower arrangement. You might have seen uh, Japanese styles of flower arrangement, ikebana, moribana. So in this type of flower arrangement, these flowers are used. Next one is peony flower. Flowers have two or more rows of generally flattened petals. Discs are apparent. In this type, there are two or more rows of flattened petals. So petals are generally patterned. So it is called as peony type. Next one is decorative. As we have seen in chrysanthemum flowers, the same kinds of classifications you can see here because the nature, the structure of the flower is same as chrysanthemum flowers. So next one is decorative. How have fully double flowers. The petals are broad, more or less flat or slightly twisty and wavy. The tips of petals may either be rounded or pointed. It is the largest group among the dahlias. Decorative group is further divided according to size into five groups. So it is further classified into five groups like giant decorative, large decorative, medium, small, and miniature. Because these these decorative type of dahlias are generally useful for exhibition purpose. So in that cases, there are present some giant decorative, some large, some medium, small, and miniature because they have some kinds of petals which are broad in nature, some flat in nature, twisty, wavy, which is more attractive uh, in nature. Next one is ball, have fully double flower. They are ball shaped or slightly flattened. They are subdivided into small and miniature. Small is size about 4 to 5.9 inches and miniature 2 to 4 inches. Next one is pompon, have fully double blooms. Blooms are globular in appearance like a table tennis ball. The size limit is 15 mm. Next one is cactus, have fully double blooms. Outer petals are narrow, preferably with revolute edges overlapping from the tips for at least two-thirds of their length. This is large group and is further divided into five subgroups: giant, large, medium, small, and miniature. Even though it is having a cactus name, but it doesn't have thorns. Its structures look like a cactus, that is why it is called as a cactus kind of dahlias. They are fully double bloom flower. Petals are narrow, which is having edges, which is look like a cactus thorns. That is why it is called as cactus kind of dahlias. Next one is semi-cactus. Have fully double flower like decorative dahlias. The half base of the petals are broad and flat. The other half of the outer petal is revolute from the pointed tip for more than one quarter but less than of full length. This group also divided into five subgroups: giant, large, medium, small, and miniature. Then miscellaneous cultivars which do not fall under any of the main nine groups are grouped under this category, good for flower arrangement. Then miscellaneous means, as we have seen these nine groups, they are not comes under this group, but they are having some kinds of flowers that is called as miscellaneous, and they are used for flower arrangement purpose. Then fimbriated, fully double flower petals are fimbriated from the tips, preferably at least 10 mm. Water lily, starred flower. So these are some pictures of dahlias which we have learned about in the classes. Some Dahlia species having more than two or three layers of petals of disc florets, of ray florets, and in center this is a disc floret. So this one is a C. This is another different structure, which is look like a spider, lily type. This one is a double flower structure, which is pompon. So this is a natural or normal Dahlia flowers. So see, there are various kinds of size, shapes, and colors are available in Dahlia flowers. Now let us discuss about the cultivation practices in that first growth and flowering temperature. Dahlia needs about 10 to 21 degrees centigrade night temperature during winter. During summer, it requires 15 to 26 night temperature. Flower bud accelerate as temperature increases. When the temperature is increases, the flower buds start blooming. The best quality blooms can be obtained 25 degrees centigrade day and 16 degrees centigrade at night temperature. At 24 day and 12 degrees centigrade night temperature delay flowering. So remember this thing, the dahlia flower required minimum 25 degrees centigrade day temperature and night temperature also has to be increased, which is around 16 degrees centigrade. If it is come to 12 night temperature, then it is start delay the flowering. So majorly uh, the flowers come into bloom in winters. The quality will affect at 28 to 29 degrees centigrade days and 70 to 20 centigrade at nights. Light, day length regulate flowering, 10 to 14 hours optimal for forcing flowering, 16 hours photoperiod or 4 hours night break. High light intensity is necessary for forcing. So as we have seen in temperature section, it required optimum temperature near about 25 and night temperature is around 16 degrees centigrade. So we'll have to increase the light hours from 10 to 14 and 16 hours photo period or 4 hours night break is essential for getting good quality flowers. Plant growth substances like psychosil, MH, SADH, TIBA. So what they affect on the growth of the plant. Application of growth substances have proved very effective in the regulation of the growth and flowering of the dahlia by 6 to 15 days delay flowering. If you want to delay the flowering, we can use the growth regulators for early as well as to delay. SADA at 1000 to 5000 ppm, TIBA at 500 to 2000 ppm, and ethyl at 2000 ppm increase flower production. For increasing flower production, we can use these growth regulators. Then ethyl 5 to 1000 ppm, psychosils, MH, like hydrazide, SADH increase flower size. Effect on tuberous root formation. So for formation of tuberous root, psychosil at 2000 to 5000 ppm, ethyl 1000 to 5000 ppm increase numbers and weight of roots. Means we'll have to give the seed treatment with these growth hormones like growth regulator, ethyl or psychosils. You can dip the tubers by preparing these kinds of 2000 to 5000 or 1000 to 5000 ppm solution. Then SADH application is coincided with a long day condition promote roots. Then SADH plus GA3 inhibits roots. Early tuber formation, pre-planting soaking in ethyl 10 ppm. So in this way, these are the chemicals. You know it, that psychosales, GA3. If you want to promote or if you want to inhibit the same work, these growth regulators or growth promoters perform the operations. The next thing is propagation. The Dahlia are propagated from the seed, tuberous roots, and cuttings, grafting, and tissue culture. Tissue culture is rarely used for propagation purpose. Majorly, tuberous roots and cuttings are used commercially for propagation or multiplications of the dahlia. Seed propagation adopted for raising dwarf bedding singles and also for crop improvement. Thinly sow the seeds in shallow boxes or seed pan. Container contain porous soil, a layer of fine leaf mold. Takes 10 days to germinate, 18 to 20 degrees centigrade temperature. Seedlings are ready for transplanting in 3 to 4 weeks period. So the dahlia also propagated through the seeds. So seeds are very delicate in nature, so that is why they have to sown in shallow boxes or seed pan. And the layer of the soil is very porous, so we'll have to keep the soil very lightly, and you will not have to sow the seed very deeply into the soil. It has to be keep porous in nature, and it will germinate. The temperature required 18 to 20 degrees centigrade for germination. It will take 10 days for germination purpose. Seedlings are ready for transplanting in 3 to 4 weeks. 3 ते 4 आठवड्यामध्ये seedlings ready होतात ट्रान्सप्लांट करण्यासाठी. And generally seed propagation is useful for preparation of seedlings, those seedlings where you can transplant into the gardens for beds, on beds for bedding purpose. Next is division. Tuber division may be used for separating the tubers each with piece of stem. Tuberous root required to place in warm, moist place for short time before dividing the tuberous root. Next one is cuttings. Dahlias are commercially propagated by terminal cuttings. 7 to 8 centimeters with 1 to 2 pairs of leaves are prepared. Mean the terminal growth which is having branch and the cuttings around 7 to 8 centimeter, which is having 1 to 2 pairs of leaves are has to present on that cuttings, and that has to be detached from the plant and directly sown in the polythene bags as well as on the or in pots. The curtain is treated with the IBA powder to facilitate rooting. After detaching that branch or that cuttings, it has to be treated with the IBA solution or IBA powder. Next one is soil and climate. Dahlia grow well in any type of rich and porous soil. They generally preferred well drained, deep, fertile, and moist soil with pH 6.5. An open and sunny place but sheltered from exposure of strong wind is ideal. A cool atmosphere free from frost is also necessary. So pH is around 6.5. Open sunny situations are necessary. Soil is rich and porous. Any type of soil is suitable for the dahlias. Soil preparation, as we prepared any land before planting. So in this way for the dahlias, we'll have to perform the same operation. The dahlia are generally cultivated both in pots and in ground. Dig the soil to a depth 14 centimeter. Spread FYM at 5 kg per meter square and pulverize. Mix with the fork and make 10 centimeter fine tilth. Prepare bed few weeks planting. So in this way, we'll have to perform the soil preparation or land preparation operation. Then planting. Generally planted in September, October. So this is the season of planting of the dahlias in plains, and in April in the hills. So we are living in plains. So in our area or in India, the September, October is the proper season or planting season of dahlias, and in April is on hilly regions like Himachal Pradesh or the North India side. A spacing of 60 by 75 centimeter is practiced for tall, 30 to 45 by 50 to 95 centimeter for dwarf. So this is the spacing 60 by 75 किंवा 30 by 50 किंवा 45 by 90 अशा प्रकारची स्पेसिंग. स्टेकिंग किंवा आपण त्याला सपोर्ट देणं म्हणतो. स्टेकिंग need immediately after the started growth. The new growth is soft and liable to affect by strong winds. Stems tied with a jute string. Stakes may be painted with a green color and the base tar, म्हणजे त्याला आपण डांबर वगैरे लावून किंवा कलर करून ती काठी त्या प्लांटच्या शेजारी आपल्याला फिक्स करायची आणि त्याला ज्यूटच्या दोऱ्याने बांधून द्यायची, जेणेकरून त्याला सपोर्ट राहील इनिशियल डेज मध्ये. इनिशियल टू द लास्ट टिल डेज इट रिक्वायर्स टेकिंग. Helpful for growing the plants vertically. Bamboo, polythene Ring can be fixed in compound around sticks or other small flowering types. Next one is manuring. 60 to 80 nitrogen. This is the range. In range it is given. You can use 50 to 80 or 60. Then 40 to 60 as to 60 to 100 kg of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium per hectare. This is the dose. Then we can convert into 50, 40, 60 or 80, 60, 100. Half nitrogen plus full P and K as a basal, as we give all the kinds of plants. Then half nitrogen at top dressing after 1 month of planting. Omission of any nutrients result as reduce the growth and flowering. Then watering, dry spell, judicious application beneficial. Overwatering, soft growth, feeble roots, vegetative buds proportion. Moisten the full depth of 40 centimeter and whole bud remains for few days. Granular feed application, no shortage of water is needed. Means we'll have to perform, uh, keep the moisture stress, or some will have to perform, give the water up to 40 centimeter depth, and after that we have to perform some kinds of dry spell. Leave 2 days give water, then some dry spell 1 or 2 days, then again give water. In this way we'll have to apply the watering. Then next is mulching. Dry grass clipping, old hay, and sawdust are used for the purpose. Black polythene is very effective mulch. Mulching is effective for the weeding. It controls the weeding. Then next one operation is pinching. Pinching should be done as soon as 2 to 3 pairs of leaves appear. Means once the germination or once the transplanting is done, when the plants attain the height about less than 1 feet, or which is having 2 to 3 pairs of leaves, at that time we'll have to perform the first pinching operation. Pinch of at least 15 centimeter tall flowering, uh, 15 centimeter plant part which is having 2 to 3 pairs of leaves, we'll have to just pinch it off, and delays the flowering 15 days. Pinching at node 4 gave the best result. Pinching at node 2 delay blooming and produce lowest number of flowers. Means at 4 node stage it will give best result. At 2 node stage it will lower down the number of flowers. Next one is pruning. Thinning of shoots keep bushes open. Large decorative cultivars 4 to 5 main branches may be retained, and small flowering type 8 to 10 branches. If we use a large decorative kind of flower, what is our aim? On the basis of that, we'll have to perform pruning operations. If you want to stay only one flower, 1 or 2 flowers, then another branches has to be removed. Or if you want the dwarf kind of flower, then the main apical branch has to be removed and horizontal branching is remain as it is. So this is the pruning operation. Next one is disbedding. The same way as a pruning, uh, unwanted birds has to be removed. Keep only healthy birds on the plant. To get the large bloom, if you want to large bloom, other small birds has to be removed. Keep only 1 or 2 birds. For the regulation of number of flowers, it is must all the Dahlias excessive birds removed in very early stage. In early stages, excessive all the birds are removed. Only keep 2 to 3 birds on the plant, which will give quality flowers and large blooms. Next is pot cultivation. The pot cultivation can be useful in at home, in gardens, or in education institute. At that where we can use pots for cultivations of the Dahlias for decoration purpose. For this, we'll require pots and potting mixture, high quality green plant. proper potting technique, optimum environment, judicious feeding, watering, and disbudding. Growing media for pot: porous soil, well drained, rich in organic matter. Potting compost consists of loamy soil, FIM, leaf mold at 3s to 3s to 2. So in this proportion, we'll have to create the potting mixture. Into that add loamy soil, FIM and leaf mold. या तिघी गोष्टी एकत्र करून एक potting mixture तयार करायचं, pots मध्ये ते add करायचं. Add 30 gram bone meal, 20 gram horn meal. So हाडांचा चुरा किंवा ह्याचा चुरा याच्या ऍड मध्ये करायचा. SSP 5 gram, SOP 25 to 30 centimeter in pots. 10 centimeter garden soil layer, pH 6.5. Pots 20 to 30 centimeter diameter, earthen pot पाहिजे, size, number of flowers. Larger pots, many flower on pot. Pompons, cactus, other small flowering. So these are the you can use small kind of flowers, dark kind of flowers in pot cultivation. Pompons, cactus, these are the small, dark kind of uh, Dahlia plants. So they are used for in plot cultivation. Green plants, thumb spots, preferred to freshly rooted cuttings. Plants slightly lower than rooting medium. Manuring: 30 to 40 gram powder mustard cake, 5 gram SSP, 2 gram SOP. Single bloom plant apply 30 to 40 gram stearamine, 3 gram MgSO4, 3 gram APSO4. Multi bloom plant apply stearamine 10 gram more. Liquid manure after 7 days, once in week. Harvesting and post harvest handling. Flowers are harvested during morning hours, as we perform in all kinds of flowers, morning or late evening. Cut flowers along with long stem. Place immediately in container half filled with water. Keep in cool and dark place for conditioning before packing. Pre-treatment with the boiling water for 30 seconds, 3 to 5 days. Pre-treatment द्यायची असते, त्याच्यामध्ये बॉइलिंग वॉटरची 30 सेकंड आपल्याला बॉइलिंग वॉटरमध्ये हे त्याचे स्टेम्सचे बुडवायचे असतात. 3 ते 5 दिवस असे त्याला आपल्याला प्री-ट्रीटमेंट द्यायची असते. वेज लाईफ 3 to 4 days. 8.2 days. जर वेज लाईफ वाढवायची असेल तर विल हॅव टू इन्क्रीज ॲड सम काइंड्स ऑफ 10% ग्लुकोज, 0.2 mm AgNO3, त्याच्यानंतर plus 8 HQS. So these are the preservative solution: glucose, AgNO3, silver nitrate, HQS. These are the preservative solutions which are used for pulsing treatment. किंवा त्याला जे पाण्यामध्ये आपण प्लांट्स जे डीप करतो त्याला पल्सिंग म्हणतात, आणि त्या पल्सिंग साठी हे सोल्युशन्स वापरले जातात. HQS, AgNO3 किंवा ग्लुकोज किंवा आपली साखर सुद्धा वापरली जाते, जेणेकरून प्लांटची वेज लाईफ ही जास्तीत जास्त दिवस जिवंत राहतात आणि ते 3 ते 4 दिवसापासून 8 दिवसापर्यंत किंवा 9 दिवसापर्यंतची वेज लाईफ आपण इन्क्रीज करू शकतो. लिफ्टिंग अँड ट्यूबर स्टोरेज. जे ट्यूबर्स आपण प्रोपगेशन साठी वापरतो त्याला लिफ्टिंग कसं करतात? When the plants are almost dried and colors of the stems turn yellow, म्हणजे पूर्णपणे झाड वाढलं असेल किंवा त्याचे स्टेम्स येलो झाले असतील, the plants are cut leaving only 15 centimeter from the ground. The tuberous roots are taken out with the help of fork who allow the tubers to dry for 3 to 4 days in shady place. And before storage, the tubers have to be treated with a 0.2% Captan for 30 minutes. Slurry treatment may be done. तर लिफ्टिंगचा उपयोग काय होतो की जे ट्यूबर्स असतात ते ट्यूबर्स आपण लिफ्ट करायचे, स्टोअर करायचे, नेक्स्ट सीझन साठी आपण त्याचा वापर करू शकतो. मग ते त्या करण्यासाठी काय करायचं? झाड पूर्णपणे वाढलं असेल किंवा त्याचं 15 सेंटीमीटर पासून त्याला ग्राउंड पासून कट करायचं आणि जे ट्यूबरस रूट्स असतात ते मातीपासून वेगळे करायचे विथ द हेल्प ऑफ फोर्क, आणि 3 ते 4 दिवस त्याला शेडी प्लेस मध्ये ड्राय करण्यासाठी ठेवायचं आणि स्टोअर करण्याच्या आधी त्याला 2% कॅप्टन फंजीसाइड त्याच्यानी 30 मिनिटासाठी treatment days. They can be stored on sand floor in cool place for several months. In ideal storage temperature should be between 4 to 7 degrees centigrade. 40 centimeter deep screen soil plus diethane M45 plus Bavistin HN applicable treatment చేస్తారు. So in this way we have studies about the Dahlia. This was all about the Dahlia planting or Dahlia cultivation.